Hello, everybody. Welcome to Tea Time with Dr. Iyabo, all the way from sunny Florida. I'm so excited to be coming to you from Alice Beach, Florida. Hello, 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 everyone. This is Dr. Iyabo on Tea Time with Dr. Iyabo. Hi, Dr. Folake. Hi, my NICU life. Aisha, Damivo, hello, hello, everybody. Hi, Alexandria, hi, how are you? Alexandria, I'm going to let a few more people join before I bring you on. Sorry, my hair wasn't cooperating. That's why it took me a few minutes to sign on because my hair wasn't cooperating, but I think it's cooperating now. Thank you, everyone, for joining us this Sunday. I'm so excited about my Tea Time with Dr. Iyabo series this March because the theme is entrepreneurship. Not that I don't discuss entrepreneurship already. I already discuss a lot of entrepreneurship, but this month I'm focusing on entrepreneurship. I'm bringing on 5 ladies every single Sunday this month, and then we will culminate. Thank you for then we will culminate and finish on March 31st with I forget her name now, the 8-figure entrepreneur Kelly Roach. But today we have the amazing Alexandria Alli, the owner, the founder, and the designer of Fwstyle. That is who we have today. So I'm going to bring her on now so that we can just start off. And if you're here and you don't know who I am, I'm Dr. Iyabo. I'm a business and lifestyle coach for women. I'm a board certified pediatrician. I'm a 7-figure entrepreneur and a serial entrepreneur. And I'm also a blogger, a speaker, and an author. My book, Permanent Happiness, is on Amazon. I'm also on the board of Flow Health. So that's all what I do. I'm also a wife and a mother of 4. Okay, so I'm going to bring Alexandria. This is Alexandria Alli. I believe a lot of you who are on here already know who she is. But if you don't, she's going to, hi, hello. We're wearing blue and green.
I know.
Oh my goodness, our outfits are actually really similar.
They're very similar. When I saw you, I was like, oh, okay, me and my sister have the same outfit.
Oh my goodness, great minds think alike. That's wonderful. Yeah. Because mine is almost off the shoulder. You can't see my boobs. I don't even know how to I don't know how to put it up or down, but I'm so glad. I'm so glad that we have blue and green. That's wonderful coordination.
Yes. You look beautiful.
So do you. Thank you. I have purple lipstick, and I think Alexandria has red. Or is it purple?
It's pink.
Oh, it's pink.
Yes.
That is amazing. Well, it's almost spring, right?
Yes, it is.
Spring. So tell everyone about yourself. And there's something I want to say to people about something that you told me recently, and I was just so impressed. You don't know what it is yet, but I'm going to let you introduce yourself to everyone.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Thank you for having me on, Dr. Iyabo. You know how much I love you and everything that you do, and I'm happy to be here. I'm Alexandria Alli. I'm the founder and owner of Fwstyle, which is a luxury leather handbag brand for busy women on the go. I'm also a mom of 2 and a wife as well. So I've been designing for, it seems like all my life because my mom's a designer as well. But I've been doing this business. It'll be going on 11 years, full-time 6 years, where I actually quit my job and started doing it full-time. So that's a little bit about me.
Okay, so now Alexandria has lovely leather goods. I have a lot of her bags. If you've been following my story here in Florida, I did buy one of her midi bags, which I've been loving on this vacation. I only brought 2 handbags on this vacation. The yellow midi bag from you, and my classic Louis Vuitton crossover bag, which I've had for 15 years.
I love it.
This is how much I love Alexandria. And let me tell you what Alexandria told me the other day that I really thought this girl has her game all figured out. This girl knows what she's doing. She needs to just keep inspiring women. I asked you, I said, and this is a feature that a lot of people who are confident in what they're doing have. And that feature is, I asked you, I said, you know, we're discussing entrepreneurship at 9 to 5, right? And then I said, do you want the questions beforehand? And you told me, oh, no, that's fine. I feel comfortable with discussing any of that. I don't need to know the questions beforehand. And I nodded.
Yeah.
And I nodded and I had a smile on my face. And I said, I'm going to bring that up during this live because that's a cardinal sign of somebody who is very confident in what they do, who knows what they're doing. They don't need to prepare. They don't need to study the questions. They just want to talk organically. So that is perfection. I know that none of us is perfect. Only God is perfect.
Yes.
But that is perfection. So do you want to talk about that? Because that's key.
Yeah, I will. You know, I will say when I first started the business, I probably would have said, oh, give me the questions because I want to rehearse. I want to study. But as time has gone on, I've realized that I just want to speak from my heart. I want to say the truth. I want to say my real experiences. And if that's the case, when you ask me a question, I'm just going to answer the real facts of what's going on. So what am I preparing for? And the way I view social media, and especially talking to somebody like you, is I'm talking to real people, real friends, real people that follow me that want the truth. And when they ask real questions, I just answer it freely. So I feel like when you start doing that, you kind of free yourself of all that having to rehearse and having to, I don't need any of that anymore.
That's wonderful. But like you said before, in the beginning, when you first started this, you may have needed to prepare.
Yes.
So what's the lesson in that for women? Because I feel like there are many lessons, but which lesson comes to mind in being able to freestyle now, even though you couldn't in the beginning?
Yeah, I feel like it's learning about yourself, learning about being more confident in what you're telling people and what you're selling to people, and knowing the value that you are offering to the world. I feel like that's where it all comes from. I know my value, I know my worth, I know what I'm here to give to people. I see how I can affect change in the world and things like that. So since I know that about myself, I'm more comfortable. But it does take a journey to get there. It takes a lot of self-reflection. It takes a lot of listening to inspiring people. It takes a lot of mentorship. A lot of all those things will get you to where you want to be, to really know about yourself and what it is you have to offer.
So many women want to get there. How do they get there?
I feel like there's several ways. I feel like you first have to take ownership of what it is you want. Like, it's internally, you need to look and learn about yourself. What is it that I really want to do in life? What is it that sparks my interest? What is it that people around me say that I'm really good at? Look internally, and because I feel like we forget to study ourselves. We just take input from what everybody else is saying, and then we try to make up what we are, instead of really, God has already given us everything. So looking internally and saying, what is it that truly, truly makes me happy? What is the story I want to tell? What is the bigger purpose of everything? I think once you do that, then you're like, okay, this is where I want to go. This is my direction, but I don't know how to get there. And then that's where people like you come in. That's where, mentors come in. That's where reading people's stories come in. That's where all of that comes in to guide you to then where you want to be. And then you always keep learning, of course.
If I asked many women what I just asked you, they probably would tell me the same thing you said. Probably not all. But they can articulate it. But tell me, Alexandria, why don't women do it? Why don't, I think a lot of women know everything you just said, or maybe some don't, because I don't want to say they do. Some actually don't know where to start. Women have the information. They have the knowledge. They know that God wants them to do something. They know that they need people to help them get there. But many women don't do it. Why?
I feel that it's sometimes hard to just take that next step and understand your value enough, and then understanding time. I think what helped me make the next step was understanding time is not forever. So I'm not gonna live forever. I mean, everything that happens in life is not forever. So the time is so precious. It's something that's so important. So living a life where you're not happy for such a long extended of time that you have here, when you start thinking of it that way, it doesn't make sense. So for me, one of the things was time. And I think Dr. Jumoke just said here, fear of the unknown, of not knowing how it's going to go if I try. Fear of rejection, I think, is also part of it. How about if I do try and then it doesn't go well? I feel like all of those things affect why people don't just jump into it and do it right away.
Okay, but then women have to understand that there are only two choices. For me and for you, I think we're very alike. I think we're sisters from different moms.
Yes.
I like to simplify my life, and when women send me DMs, I send them very short answers.
Yeah.
Because women will send me, honestly, like a whole blog post of what is going on. Thank you, Dr. Folake. Thanks for buying badges. Everybody start buying badges to support Alexandria and myself, even though guess what, I get all the money. She doesn't.
But hey, you give so much value that it's awesome. It's awesome.
Yeah, so I tell women, I simplify. Oh yeah, I was saying they'll send me a blog post this long, and I'm not trying to disrespect you women, I'm just trying to make it a little bit humorous. But when I answer them, you know, after they've sent me that whole story, I basically send them a one-liner answer. Because women complicate their lives. This morning, I still received 2 DMs from women, and I know we're talking entrepreneurship, but again, I like to go with the flow. Like, women have lots of relationship woes, and I'm thinking to myself, women, come on. You know, the 2 of them sent me stories this long about the men. One of them, I just sent her a 3-liner sentence. I said, let him go. That's all I said. Because she sends me about 4 paragraphs of this guy who they've been messaging and they've been talking for months, but she's never met him. And he's this, but he said he wants to marry her. He said he wants to stay with her forever, but they've never met. They've never seen. Oh yeah, thank you. But they've never met. But her friends are saying, "Oh no!" And then this is what I said: be careful about the tribe you have around you.
Oh yes.
It's like the blind leading the blind. So her friends are telling her, "Oh no, maybe it's because he has something going on." I don't even remember the story. Her friends have been giving her some excuses about why he hasn't been able to see her. And I read it, and I just say, I have 3 words for you. Let him go.
Yes. I mean, I totally agree. I mean, it's like we make so many excuses for anything from men to the job that we're doing to maybe it's because of this, maybe it's because of that. You've said on your post recently, when somebody cares about you or when they love you, they will show you exactly that.
Yes.
And if they're showing you something opposite, believe them. I feel like we make so many excuses of why this, why that. Just believe them. They're showing you exactly who they are, what they are. Believe it for that and act accordingly.
Why did I get divorced? I'm a very transparent person because I've completely healed. I can tell people, and I say it all the time. My mom-in-law was overbearing. She was overbearing. People had warned me before I got married to my husband. I didn't listen. I did get married. I was only 17 then. I didn't know. I got married. And lo and behold, as soon as I got pregnant with my first daughter, it started. When we were dating, I didn't see it.
Wow.
You know, everything was fine. As soon as we got married, it started. And it was a battle I could not win because that was his mom. And everything I said was like, that's my mother. How dare you? If he's listening to this live, he knows he was saying that. And I got tired of it. I'm like, okay, the person I married is not a bad person. But this guy wants to listen to his mother. I mean, there were things that he was telling his mom about our plans in the home that he had never told me. So I got tired and I said, okay, I'm gone.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
Wow. Yeah.
some people will put up with that until the day they die.
Mm.
Why? You know,
Mm.
I was aging rapidly then. If you had seen me then, I looked like I was 60. Now
Wow.
people say I look like I'm 35 or
You
50
do.
because I removed myself from the stress.
Yeah. Yeah.
So women, you know, the only person you owe anything to in this life is God,
Mm.
honestly,
Mm.
and your kids
Yeah.
before they turn 18.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Your kids before they turn 18. Listen
18.
to me. I have a 23-year-old now.
Mm-hmm.
I love her to the moon and back. She knows it, but I've told her to go forth and do her thing
Mm.
because she's
Yeah.
23. I can't baby her forever.
Yeah.
My daughter just joined. Moni is 17. She will soon be 18. She knows once she goes to college, her life is her own. I will be there for her biggest supporter.
Mm-hmm.
But the women, the only people you owe things to are God and your children before they're 18. After
Yes.
that, send them love from a distance. No,
Yeah.
tell them that no matter what trouble you get into, I'm here for you.
Mm-hmm.
But you're not stuck to anybody else.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
I love that you said that. And you know, you're not stuck to anybody else. You're not stuck to anything. You're not stuck to any job. I have a quick story. I know for me, talking about like work and things like that, I had an experience where I was working, I started working as a banker. That's how I started my career. I was a banker and I first loved it, and then after that fell out of love with it. I was stressed out. It was numbers after numbers. What's next? What's next? But I kept doing it because I really felt like I was stuck there. I felt like there was nothing else to do, even though my husband is like, what else? You know what you love fashion, do something that. But I didn't want to feel like I was failing, so I kept doing it. And do you know, I developed like anxiety, and not just regular anxiety. I'm talking about like where I had to take, you know, medicine for it.
Oh, yeah.
And I developed that so badly that it was one of the lowest points in my life. And to be honest, I did that to myself because I didn't need to stay there. So I was trying to be the perfect mom. I was trying to be the perfect wife. I was trying to be the perfect at work, while also building my business, and I ran myself down. And when you say, you know, I felt older than I was, and I was still young back then. I was in my 20s and,
Yes.
you know, early 30s, and I felt old. I felt worn out. I felt tired all the time. And when I reached that rock bottom, I really needed to assess myself. What is the problem here? Why do you feel like you have to do everything? Why don't you feel like you're enough? Where is all this stemming from? I had to deal with that. And then I changed my whole thing. I started going to yoga. I started going to therapy. I started, you know, I took my job. I'm like, I gotta go. I went part-time, just like that. I'm one of those people, I have to go step by step. So I went part-time. I was like, I need to go I need to go part-time. I did that. And I just really just changed my whole lifestyle because I'm like, I'm not going down like this. So you just have to make that decision. And once I made that decision, I believe God was just like, okay, here's what you start doing and here's how you get better. And, you know, here we are today.
What's the lesson in what Alexandria just said? God, you're not waiting on God. God is waiting for you. Okay? A lot of us Christian people, we use that, we hide behind it. Oh, you know, I'm just waiting on God. God will yes and no. Yes and no. Because if you're a very spiritual person, not very spiritual as in religious, if you have a personal relationship with God and with Jesus Christ, he will talk to you. I believe God talks to me a lot. He talks to me a lot.
Yes.
But I had to train myself to get there by also acting. But if you sit down for the rest of your life and you're saying, I'm waiting on God, there's so many women that tell that, I'm waiting on God. Oh, by God's grace, yeah, by God's grace. But God is actually waiting on you because he's given you everything you need.
Yes.
When I put that video on YouTube, I talk about it all the time, that how can you start a business with zero capital? I meant it. You can actually start, especially in this digital world you're in now, and Alexandria knows how you can start.
Yes.
You can start a business with zero capital. You can actually start. Maybe you as time goes on, you will need money to scale it. You may need to start paying for things like websites and graphics and all that. But especially if it's service-based, if you're just monetizing your knowledge, like Alexandria today now can say, okay, I want to start a new business. I want to start teaching women how to be confident.
Yes.
That's a business. Do you need capital for it? Actually, no. Because all she will do is maybe create another Instagram page or the same page and just say this, that, that. But she's stepping out. The way she starts that business is she decides she wants to do it, and she starts doing it with confidence, and she tells people that I can coach you to be confident, and she'll keep on doing videos and talking and all that. That's a zero capital business.
Yes, yes.
Right?
Yeah,
that's
I totally
a zero
agree.
capital business. So Alexandria, tell us something else, and then we're going to get into entrepreneurship. Everything we've been discussing actually is part of our discussion today, because you cannot be an entrepreneur if you don't make a decision.
Yes, you have to make that decision. Like seriously, everything in life I've realized as I continue to grow, as I continue to learn, and as I just continue to grow myself, I've realized every single thing is a decision. Because there's no new things that's coming. God already made this world. He already put the people in there. He already did everything. So there's no new thing that's coming. What's new is you just realizing it and opening your eyes and learning and saying, oh, wow, there's this opportunity here. You know, I will say when I first started my business, the only thing I knew was that, okay, I'm going to make these bags and I'm going to sell them. And that was all I knew. You just make it, you sell it. Then as I continue to learn, I'm like, oh, the e-commerce. Okay, I will put it online. I don't have to just sell it to my friends. I can put it online. Then I started learning about stores and boutiques, and I remembered I used to model for some of these stores and boutiques. Oh, wow, they can carry my line. Okay, so I went into that. I learned more about that. Then I started learning about licensing. I can design for other people, and they pay me royalty for it. Then I started learning about, you know, just different things, selling to bigger stores. And all these things are things that I started learning. They've always been there. I just didn't know much about it. And the more you learn about things, the more you open up, and that's when you start learning how you can make more money. And then all these things, you know, come together. So, you know, that's just how I feel about everything. It's all there for you. It's just waiting for you to open your eyes and learn and figure out how to make it work.
It's as simple as that. We could actually end this live now because it says we won't end it, guys. We still have a lot to talk about. But life is simple, guys. Stop making it complicated. Stop calling other people complicated. I know we're talking about entrepreneurship, but this is why I love being the money to honey coach, because the way you deal with your money is actually the same way you deal with your honey. There's many, the principles are actually the same thing with money and honey. It's surprising that they're actually the same. You have to be decisive. You know, you don't chase money, you chase purpose. You know, and you don't chase men. You know, you let them chase you. So there's so many things that are similar with attracting your honey and making your money. You have to be confident with both.
Yes. Can I say something about that?
Yes.
I want to say something about that. There was a time when right before I met my husband, I had gone through like a 3-year space of like not dating. At first, it was me not wanting to date anybody. But then after that, it was kind of like, nobody is approaching me. Nothing's happening. What's going on? And then my mom had told me, she was like, write down everything that you want in a man. And I said, okay. She said, write it all down. She said, be specific what you want. And I wrote it all down, from looks to personality to character to everything. And I wrote it all down. Yes. And maybe 2 months passed. My friend, you know, was like, hey, let's go. Matilda, she's on here. She's like,
Yes.
let's go on a double date, a movie date. And she's, I'm dating this guy and he has a friend. And I'm like, please, I'm not really interested in this. And she's like, no, let's go. We went. And let me tell you, as I was talking to my husband, he's now my husband, but him that day, every single thing that I put on that list, I could see it. And that's why it was important for me to write that list, because if not, I wouldn't have known. I've just seen it as a date and that's it. But I was seeing the character. I was seeing, what he was talking about. I was seeing, the values that he had. Like all those things I wrote down, I could actually see it in him. And I could also see him doing that as we continue to date and all of that. So I really feel it's important when you make that decision on whatever it is you want, write it down so so that when it comes, you can recognize it. So
yes, and that's the same thing with money. That's
yes.
a beautiful story. That you wanted to make the comparison, right?
Yes.
Because that is the same thing with money. That is how you found your honey, by writing everything down.
Yes.
I didn't do that with my first marriage because I was only 17. I met him in school. I was naive. But this time around, I wrote down a list, and I actually would modify the list as I was going. I wrote down the list. You guys know my story. I put it in my Bible, in my favorite Psalm page, and I would pray about it diligently. And God gave me 9 out of 10 of the things that I wanted in a guy. Honestly, up to his height. I asked God to give me a man who was at least 6'2" and nearly 6'4".
Yeah.
So God listens. God listens. So it's the same thing. The way you attract your money is the same way you attract your honey. You write a list, you make a plan. Like Alexandria did. She said she knew she wanted to sell bags. So she knew she wanted to sell bags, and all she did was, okay, I'm going to sell this bag. She figured the rest out as she was going, right?
Yes.
But I'm sure she probably knew in her mind, she could visualize what she wanted to do. So guys, you remember the post that I posted? I said people who are successful in life have one trait that is very different from others. They are decisive. They are decisive, because I've thought about it back and forth. I'm like, what makes people become financially independent? What makes them become risk takers? What makes them do what they're meant to do? They make a decision and they do it, regardless of what everybody's telling them, because there's so many lies out there. If I listen to people 17 years ago, I would not have started my business. It was only my parents that said, Iyabo, go forth and start it. Everybody was like, what? You are a black doctor in America, you want to start your practice? Nobody's going to come. Oh, in Atlanta, it's very racist. They won't come to you. Oh, no, don't take out a loan. You're going to go bankrupt. Most medical practices close down within 5 years. Don't do it. My dad said, do it. My dad said, I know you. I remember that. He's like, I know you. I trust you. You're very hardworking. 350K loan. Get it. Just do it. You'll pay it back. And he was right. I took out the loan and I was diligent about paying it back, and I paid it all off within 5 years. And the business is now grossing 7 figures. Imagine if I listened to all the people who said, oh, you're a black doctor. Nobody, most of my patients are black, but that's fine. I don't need white patients to make money. For me, I don't even look at color. I look at them as clients. So guys, you have to do this. Again, please ask us questions. We're going to go into the real topic of the day now, even though this first 30 minutes probably is even more important than this next 30 minutes, because if you cannot make a decision about entrepreneurship, you're wasting your time watching this video. You guys know me. I say it as it is. I offer tough love. If you know you cannot make a decision, just sign off now and go and take a nap, because you're wasting your time watching this. And there are many of my regulars that I offer tough love to, and I tell some of them that you've been on social media before I joined social media, many of you, and you still can't make a decision. I joined social media in 2017. I actually Instagram in 2017. I had Facebook for many years, but that wasn't really a business. It was just social. But I joined Instagram in 2017 to market my book, and I have created since then 4 more income streams. But some of you just can't step out. So if you know you cannot make a decision, because Alexandria and I are here today to inspire you guys to do this thing.
Yes.
Right? We're not making any money from this. Nobody pays me for tea time. And I've only earned $3.50 today from you guys because only one person has bought a badge. I'm still waiting for you guys to tip me today. But honestly, jokes aside, I do this because I love you women. And I know that a lot of you are depressed and sad and not happy. Why? Because I read your DMs, because you send me DMs and emails, and I send you one-liners. So we're here to help you. Ask us questions. We will answer your questions. But if you're on this live and you know you cannot be decisive, don't waste your time watching this live, because a lot of you consume information every day. And I'm 50 years old, that's why I can maybe scold some of you, because a lot of you are younger, and even if you're older, pardon me, scold you. But a lot of you consume knowledge. You're on Instagram all the time. You're on Tea Time here, podcasts there, YouTube here. You consume all the information, but you do nothing with it. You know, maybe it's because my mindset is different. I just don't get it. And you want this thing. Women want to be financially independent. They want to have their own business, but they don't want to step out to take the risk. So again, we want this to be interactive. We have you guys have us here. Please ask us questions. But now I want to ask Alexandria, what are the pros and cons of being an entrepreneur and having a 9-to-5?
Okay. Definitely a lot of pros and cons. Let me say one of the cons, and which is why a lot of people don't step out, is obviously, especially when you're first starting, you don't have that guaranteed income. That guaranteed income coming in all the time. Another con is also you're not structured the way you would be in, you know, your 9-to-5 job. When you go there, there's already the goals set for you. There's already what you need to do. So those two things, a lot of people that are maybe not structured people, that's tough for them, because when you become an entrepreneur, you have to, nobody's telling you to go to work. Nobody says you have to report at 9. So if you sleep, you know, the whole day, I mean, that's up to you, you know, so there's not that structure there. And then also, like I said, just that stable income that's coming in. So those are the cons of, you know, starting a business and leaving your 9-to-5. Some of the pros are a lot of pros. Your time is your own. To me, that was one of the biggest things. Just being able to be there for my family, being able to be at my daughter's gymnastics meet, being able to, if my son says he wants to do karate or whatever, I can take him there and be there. Yes. The way that I can structure my time where I can wake up at 5 a.m. and work if I want to, so that I can be done by 1 or 2 and then have the rest of the day to myself. If my girlfriend say, hey, let's do a trip, I'm able to do it. If my, you know, husband says, you know, for spring break, that was one thing I didn't like about, you know, my other job. I had to ask, you know, can I have this time? And if somebody else had taken it, well, that's it. You can't take it.
I'm telling you, that is terrible. Having to ask for vacation. Oh my gosh.
Exactly. So you can't take it. But now it's like, if we plan ahead of time, we're going to be going to vacation in April. Okay, I already know that. I've structured my time. I've structured my team in a way that it's okay. I'm gone and I feel free when I'm there. You know, so things like that, I feel like is so invaluable. It's like that time is so important. And then also the ability to build actual wealth. You know, sometimes, you know, working for somebody, I mean, and not to say people can't build wealth, but for me, I knew that it was going to be harder because I was always working. And the thing is, if I'm really working super hard and working several hours and building more and more wealth, the more and more wealth I was building by working 9-to-5, the less and less time I have. So I'm, you know, trading time for money. But whenever you're an entrepreneur, you can build that wealth and put systems in place and put people in place where you can still do that and still have your time, you know, or structure your time in a way that works for you. So that has been my experience being an entrepreneur, that time, that being able to build wealth and really seeing something. Another thing is just seeing the value in what it is you're doing, being able to leave a legacy for other people, for my kids. I posted something the other day on social media where we were in a grocery store and I told my daughter, I said, hey, that magazine, somebody told me that we're in that magazine. And she's like, oh, Mom, let's go get it. I said, okay, we got it. And then she looked, she's flipping through really fast and she sees our name in the magazine. She was like, oh my God, here we are. And she looked at me and she's like, Mom, I'm so proud of you. I almost lost it.
Yes.
That right there,
yes,
showed me she's seeing this and she understands that, wow, from where we started to where we are and where we're going, I'm able to share that process with her. So all those I feel like are some of the pros.
Yes, 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 and yes. So the reason most women give me for not being able to start their business was the first thing you said, that guaranteed income. They don't say directly, but you know, they're scared. They're like, what if, okay, now I'm earning $50,000, but how am I then going to cope if I don't, you know, if I don't have that guarantee? So give them some tips on how. So let's say there's a woman on here now who lives in America who's earning $50,000 a year. She wants to step out to do a business. What is the process that she can use that will make it less daunting and less risky to step out to have her own business?
Okay, so here it is. Number one, we've made the decision that this is what we want to do. You also have to realize you don't just all of a sudden then just have the time and stuff. You have to give yourself a time. Like me, I knew that within a year, I wanted to leave my corporate job. So my goal was to first go part-time. After I go part-time, then I leave. So I gave myself a step-by-step plan. You don't have to do it at once. A lot of people come on and they're like, oh, and I just quit my job. That wasn't the case for me because my family, we needed the money. We needed the money to survive. I was another half of the income. So I couldn't just quit my job. I had to do it step by step. So that was the first thing. I created my exit plan. How would that look? What would I need to do in order to be able to exit? Number two was my business. I started writing down, how am I going to actually make money with this business? What are the things that I have to do? What are they? Like I actually wrote them down. Okay, online, I know I can make this much right now. What are the activities that I can do to increase that? Then I said wholesale. Right now, I have 2 stores that carry my line. How do I get that to 10 stores? What are the activities that I need to do in order for that to happen? So I started writing different things on how that was going to happen. And then start thinking out of the box. Think of ways to work smarter, not harder. So one of the things for me is I knew that I wanted to sell to stores and boutiques. That would probably be the biggest way for me to be able to get large income coming into my business as opposed to just selling one by one to people. So what I started noticing is a lot of the stores and boutiques I was going to were owned by individuals. So it was hard for them to take a risk on a new brand that they didn't know. They don't know if it's going to sell in their store, all of those kind of things. So what I did was I was like, what other places are kind of like boutiques, but may not have that risk that they have to take? I realized that hotel gift shops and casino gift shops, they also have gift shops, but it's not owned by the individual that is buying. So they're more willing to take risks because they have so much capital. So I started selling to hotels like Ritz-Carlton. I started selling to casino gift shops, and those gave us income that was coming in every 2 months, every 3 months, and like that. So once I had those incomes coming in, then I was able to go part-time, and I kept going like that. So see it as a plan. Don't just see it as I'm just going to quit everything and go. make an actual, if you have the funds to do that, great. But for me, then when I went part-time, me and my husband stopped using my part-time income and survived only off of his income and F&W style income that we were paying ourselves, and saw if we could do it. And when we saw that we were able to do it, then I left. I hope that's not too long of an answer.
It wasn't too long. That was perfect. Have a plan. If you decide to do it, there's no way that it won't work out. Have a plan. Write down your expenses. Write down what it is that is going out every month. Write down what is coming in. It's simple math. If $10 is going out every month and you're only earning, and if you stop working full-time, you're only going to be earning $4 from your husband. It's not possible, right? Because if $10 is going out and only $4 is coming in, you're going to be at a deficit. And if you don't want to get a loan or be at a deficit, then you have to adjust your salary in a way that you can still have at least 8 to 10 coming in to help the $10. It's simple, guys. You just make this complicated. And even if you're a single woman, you can do it. You don't need to have your husband. I started my business with my husband, but when he was gone is even when my practice grew even more, because it's the same math that I did. What's going out, what's coming in, and then when what is coming in is more than what's going out, it's time to celebrate. That means you're making a profit. If what is coming in is 100,000 and you're only spending 20,000, you've done well. Then you can start paying yourself and you can start saving more and paying off the loan. Guys, it is not rocket science. It's not rocket science, okay? So the first thing women say, the reason why they can't start businesses is that guaranteed income. You've given them a plan, right?
Yes.
Have a plan. Have a way to actually make money. Think outside the box.
Yes.
Think outside the box. The next thing they'll tell you is, I don't have any money to even start the business. That's the most common one. I don't have any money. That one makes me laugh when women say, because the same women who say, I don't have any money, if you were a fly on the wall, they would be online shopping, buying the latest wig, buying the latest earrings and shoes, buying stuff for their kids. But when it comes to their business, Dr. Iyabo, but I don't have money. It's too expensive. What do you say in that one? Because, that's a difficult one. If a woman tells you they don't have money, you just say, well, try and raise the funds. And
I started my business with $500. I've said those things before. So if there was somebody that didn't have any money, I didn't have any money. I had $500. That's how I started. So I knew that at some point I wanted to own my own, design my own bags and things like that. But when I first started, I didn't have the money to be able to create the samples that it would take for me, or even create the products that it would take for me to start the line. So what I did is I went to these wholesale shops and I would buy wholesale bags. So I bought $500 worth of wholesale bags that they had over there. I would call my friends, any of my friends that might have been in here from back then. I would call them and say, I'm having a purse party. So you guys have to come to my house, bring another friend with you, and I'm gonna do a purse party for you guys. I would tell my sisters to be the models. I would have little like champagne and stuff for my friends. They will come, they will buy. The first show I did, I think I made $1,500. Use that $1,500, bought more products, and I would invite other people. Then I started doing purse parties with people from my job. I started doing purse party. Anybody that would, like, if I knew you back then, Dr. Iyabo, I would have been like, do you want to do a purse party? You will get a free purse and you invite your friends and I'll make it really fun. And that's what I kept doing over and over again until then I got enough money to get samples. I made samples of my first designs and then kept going from there. So the thing is, start small and grow big. We always think that we have to start with everything. Start small and grow big. That is how have done it, and that's how I continue to do it. So just know what your goal is in mind, because that's important. If you don't have a goal of where you're going, then you're going nowhere. You're just, but I knew that I wanted to create my own line of handbags, but I knew that first I had to sell other people's bags wholesale, because that's all I could afford. And then from there, start creating my own and keep going from there. So that's what I did.
And what's the bottom line here? What's the commonality here? Alexandria made a decision. She was decisive. A lot of you can't step forward because you can't make a decision. That's where you get stuck. You go to Google to ask questions. You go to YouTube to ask questions. You ask your neighbor, your grandma, you ask your CPA, your husband, your sister. You ask 1 million people if you should do it. And most people will tell you don't do it, because most people are also procrastinators, and they're also living in fear like you.
Yeah.
So, that's the problem. You're asking people who also are not risk takers.
Yes.
Because risk takers are only about 2 to 5% of the population. Unfortunately, there are not many risk takers like Alexandria and I. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing, but I want the women that follow me to be part of that 2 to 5%. So you women are making a mistake. They go and ask people who belong to that majority non-risk takers, and they're going to say, pull your ears, don't do it. Just stay in your job. Stay in your job and take care of your kids. Are you okay? You want to go and sell bags? You want to go and start coaching? No. That's not sensible. Then they get scared, they don't do it. Or they go and ask YouTube or this or that, instead of looking for those people like you and I who've done it. Real people. I'm not saying, okay, of course, Oprah is a real person, but Oprah is like too high up there.
Yes.
So, if you're following Oprah for inspiration, and you haven't started a business that is even making $1,000 a month, you're not following the right person for inspiration. Oprah, if you're watching this, I love you very much. But Oprah, you probably understand what I'm saying. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You get inspiration from people who are closest to what you're doing.
Yeah.
Of course, you can admire Oprah, you can admire Michelle Obama, yes, but if you're aspiring for Oprah and you haven't done what Fwstyle is doing, then you're going to stay in fantasy land for it. That's fantasy land.
Yeah.
Wanting to do what Oprah is doing without doing what Fwstyle or Dr. Iyabo are doing first is fantasy land. You're deceiving. But that's what a lot of women do. They want to be like celebrities when they haven't even become, what they want to do here. So they forever stay in fantasy land. Well, do you have something to say about that?
No, I think that's true. I feel like it's important that you see people. So going back to what you had said about people saying don't do it, here's the thing. A lot of people say don't do things because they haven't ever seen anybody do it. So they don't, there's no way they can understand it. They can't understand it because they don't understand. I had a friend, and that told me, and she meant well. She didn't mean it maliciously. She told me, when I told her I'm gonna, start doing my own handbags, I'm gonna create my own line. She was like, so you're gonna quit your job as a banker? I said, yeah. And she was like, and create your own line. And she said, people are not gonna buy. She was like, I want to be honest with you. She's like, people are not gonna buy because people want to carry, Kate Spade. They want to carry Michael Kors. They want to carry Gucci, and they want to carry all that stuff. So people are not gonna buy from you. She was like, don't waste your time. Let me tell you, grow in your job that you're doing. And she said it with the purest heart. She didn't mean anything by it, but it is my job. It is your job to take what you're going to take and leave the rest. Everything everybody says to you doesn't need to be internalized by you.
Yes.
Because they are coming from their own space of limitation, of what they have seen and what they find to be okay. So it is important that you expand your territory to people that inspire you, that you see, because it's important for all of us to see it. If you don't see it, then you don't know if it can be done or not. But we've come to a space, when I first started, like I said, almost 11 years ago, there were not, and that is why I started, there were not a lot of Black women handbag company that were household names. Actually, they're still not. It's because most of us can't even name one. So I my differentiating factor. So while people were saying that, to me, it was part of the things I was collecting. Like, yeah, you're right. There isn't any. And I'm going to be that. That is what I'm trying to do. That is the problem I'm trying to fix. That is what I'm going to start doing. So every time they came at me, I knew my why, and I knew what I was trying to change and what I was trying to bring to this world. So don't be bogged down by what people are saying, because they're coming at you with their limitations, and that doesn't need to be your problem. That is their problem. And it's important to surround yourself through social media, through friends, through family, with people that align with that will actually give you advice that are not limited points of view. So,
you know how much I love you, Alexandria. I don't have to say it all the time, but I just love you. Honestly, I just love you so much, so much. So women, Alexandria just crushed those 2 excuses you guys put in my DM. Oh, I don't have money. Alexandria started her business with $500. Look at her today. She's been featured in Essence, in Vogue, and also in Macy's, and all sorts of other wonderful platforms, okay? Look at her today. I have Gucci bags, I have Louis Vuitton bags, but I also have a lot of Fwstyle bags. Why? Because they're high quality. I love high quality things. I do. I don't, that's just it. I've worked hard for my money, and I love high quality things. I'm in Florida right now on vacation in a nice beach house with my husband and 3 of my kids and my daughter's friend. And I have my laptop in front of me, my little portable ring lights, and my phone. And this is still me kind of working, because this is still work for me. That's the kind of life I want for all women, where you're earning money, you're 7 figures, and you can be in Australia or anywhere else, in Florida, Turks and Caicos, and you are enjoying yourself, and you're not applying for vacation. Tomorrow, my staff will be at work, but I will still be here in my beach house that we rented. I will still be here. My staff will go to work. They will call me. I will see on electronic medical records what they're doing. They will call me while I'm on the beach, while I'm talking with my children. That's the life I want for you guys. That's the life. You're earning money and you're still doing what you do. I have my practice there, but I'm still doing my creative work there. What Alexandria is doing and what I'm doing, that's the life we want for you guys. But you have to be decisive. And you also have to invest in yourselves. Yes, you can start a business with $500. Absolutely, you can. I've told you how. You can. But if you still can't figure it out, you either need a mentor or a coach.
Yes.
You either need a mentor or a coach. There are many mentors out there. Mentor does it for free. I have exhausted my mentorship capacity for now because I've been mentoring for about 15 years. So now I am coaching, and you have to pay for my expertise. I probably will in the future mentor again, but no time soon because I have mentored and mentored and mentored. But now I am coaching women. Alexandria may be a mentor. I don't know. You'll have to DM her and ask. She may be a coach that will charge you money. I don't know. I'm not going to speak for Alexandria. But if you cannot, everything we've said today, if you're still confused, if you still can, we're not yet done, but I wanted to say this to you guys, that a lot of you say you don't have money, but she has told you she started with $500. I am telling you, you can actually start today with $0. Okay? You can, and the tip I'm giving you, which I've said all the time, is the trait of public speaking. If you can come on to Instagram, have a page, dress cute. You see how we're both dressed cutely? That's another thing. I want to touch on that. I want to touch on self-image. Okay? Do not listen to people who tell you it's vain to look good or it's vain to have nice pictures. They are lying to you. It's because they don't like the way they look. I've seen a couple of people post that on their pages, and it's obvious from those people, they're not confident. You can tell from their posts, they're not confident about the way they look.
Yeah.
You have to show up well. The dress I'm wearing is, I think it was $78. It's not super expensive. It's not super expensive. My earrings are from J. Crew. I don't remember, they may have been $40-something. And yeah, my hair was expensive, but I'm going to wear this for like 2 or 3 months, right?
Yes.
Look at Alexandria. She looks beautiful. You have to show up. You have to show up to command high dollars.
Yes. Yeah. Show up for what you want, not where you are. That's one thing I talk about my mom a lot, but she's such a big influence in my life. And, you know, there was one time, you know, I was younger at the time. I think I was working at Macy's or something like that. And I was heading to work. And she was like, is that what you're going to wear? I said, yeah, well, they don't care. And she's like, you show up for the job you want, not the job that you're at.
Yes.
And she was like, always show up for what you want, because you will almost, I don't know how to say it, but people will see you for that, and people will come with you with opportunities just by that. When I was working at the bank, I would always show up like I was going to a runway show, and my customers and all those people would be like, oh my God, where are you going? Where did you get this suit from? I was a banker, and they would be coming to me for advice on, okay, so, you know, I'm going to this. What do you think about this? Fashion tips. Where did you get that jacket and stuff? Guess what? When I started my business, all those women that I banked were one of my first customers, because I already showed up that way. So it's important to show up for what you want, not where you are. And just stay ready so you don't have to get ready. There's been several times where I've been in my office and people will call and say, oh, can we do an interview with you today? And if I wasn't ready, so I'm always ready, because I'm always expecting something to come that is good. I'm always expecting it. So I stay ready in that way for whatever it is God decides to drop on me that day. I'm ready for it. So
I just love you, Alexandria. And God loves it when we look good.
Yeah.
I know that the God I serve loves it when I look good. You know why? Because he knows it makes me happy. And God wants me to be happy. You know, he wants me to be confident, and he wants me to be happy, and he's given me the resources. People ask me, oh, how do you get all these people on your tea time? When I got the holistic psychologist and Gabby Bernstein and all of them, oh, do you have a publicist who gets them? No. I just send them emails, and I just say, I have an Instagram live talk show. I do this, I do that. Would you? Many of them say no, I don't want to. And I've said this before on another show, that the people you expect to say yes are actually the ones who say no. A lot of Nigerian women and a lot of Black women that I message and ask them to come on my show, who are celebrities, they, you know, like moderate celebrities, they all say no. The Caucasian ladies say yes a lot, or they'll say not now, but maybe in June. There are many that have told me they will come in May, June, and they're all white women. So don't look at people's skin and think that. For me, this is why I don't get into the racial talk. I don't, because Black women don't want to hear some of the things I say, so I don't get into it. But for me, I look at hearts. I look at the way people are. I don't look, even when I was going to open my practice, the same thing happened. All the Black people I messaged said no, they couldn't mentor me, they couldn't help me. The person who helped me was a white Jewish pediatrician. You know, so guys, there's racism in the world, but be careful about what you think and your mindset. But going back to the topic, the reason why people like Gabby Bernstein or the holistic psychologist say yes to me is because I carry myself well. I don't have the popularity they have. I'm just a pediatrician here, but I'm God's daughter. And that makes me very proud because I'm God's daughter. So why not? Why won't I message Gabby Bernstein and ask her? Why won't I message the holistic psychologist and ask her? I message all of them. The holistic psychologist replied my email within 15 minutes. And she was saying, oh, for sure, I would be really honored to be your guest. Till today, anytime I email her anything, she replies me within a day.
Yes.
So, but that is because of what I portray. I portray self-confidence. I come on sometimes without makeup. You guys saw my hair with my edges the other day with no braids,
Yeah.
because that's who I am now. I'm 50
Yeah.
years old, but when it comes to, like, you know, doing it up and showing up, I will do it. But I will also show you what I look like in the morning.
Yeah.
So this is what Alexandria and I are trying to talk to you guys about, okay?
Yeah.
But don't listen to people who say don't do those photo shoots. Absolutely do those photo shoots.
Yes. Do
Take
those
nice
photo shoots.
pictures.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, it's so important. And then it just frees you also. That's the thing,
Yes.
because we try to do everything ourselves. We want to do the pictures ourselves. We want to let other people do it that are professionals, that will put you in the best light. So you're always showing up in the best light. And then it frees you. It frees you of time. It frees you of having to think about all of that. And you're giving it to a professional and giving them jobs to do too.
Yes.
So it's just a win-win all around when you start doing that.
And I know we're done, but can we do like 5 to 10 more minutes, Alexandria, if you don't mind?
Yeah, sure, no problem. The kids haven't come out yet, so they're enjoying themselves, so we're good to go.
There were some things I wrote down here. You did talk, and you've said it now. You talked about that you had a team. That's another thing I want women to understand. The ones who have businesses and who have one-man businesses, at some point you have to grow your business.
Yes.
You heard me talking about tomorrow my staff will be at work. Women, you cannot have a one-man business that is going to grow into high 6, high 7, 8 figures. You can't. Alexandria, can you talk to women about that, about making sure they have a team when it's time to have a team?
Yes, definitely. I mean, I came from that too, where at first, you know, I just thought my business started growing. I told you guys I left my corporate job. I was doing it. And then it was just me doing everything. I was the person mailing the bags. I was the one answering customer service. I was the one doing IT. I was doing everything for my business. And that's still burnout. And that stops you from being what you're supposed to be for that business. For me, I'm the creative, I'm the marketing, I'm the person that likes to see all that. I like social media, but packing the bags is not my thing. IT is definitely not my thing. Like things like that, I had to hire out and get, you know, employees with me to do that. And as I continue to grow, I'm going to be doing more and more of that. I have a photographer that takes all my pictures beautifully. I mean, get so many compliments on our pictures for our page and things like that. We've worked with her for years now. We have a videographer that does our video for us. You know, we have an IT person who's actually my husband. So I don't deal with anything that's IT or anything. He does that part of the business. So it's just important to not burn yourself out and do what you are good at. So the minute you start making that money and you start making that profit, hire somebody out. And you know what? It doesn't have to be this huge professional, you know. Some of these high school, college people, college kids, we have interns that work for us that are in college and they come with the best ideas. Like their ideas are always awesome. So high school, college kids, give them a job. Let them come to you twice a week and, you know, pack your orders for you or help you tape these things. They know more about everything than you will anyway, about social media and all of that. So free yourself. You know, I always say that, just free yourself. Don't bog yourself down with all these little things you have to do when literally you can pay somebody, you know, $50 to do it and then be done with it, you know. So
yes, absolutely. I'm going to take a couple questions. Dr. Folake, if you're still on here, you talked about health insurance being a deterrent to people to have a business. I agree with you, but I also disagree with you because as you grow your business, the income from your business, you get yourself health insurance. I've had health insurance with my business from day one. And guess what? There are many tax perks. There are many tax perks from you paying your own health insurance. So don't let that be a deterrent. Even if you have a chronic problem, like I know you do, and I'm saying that because I know you're open with it. Dr. Folake has multiple sclerosis, but you know, she wants to start her own business. So don't let that be a deterrent. There are many health insurance policies you can sign into. It is a little expensive, But if you have a good CPA, when you do file your taxes, there are many tax incentives you can get from that. Then somebody else said that they were financially free, but dating is their problem. Dating is not your problem. Okay. Dating is not your problem. The men are showing you the signs. Believe what they say and hire me as your dating coach. We're not discussing dating today, but everything we're discussing today also applies to dating. Okay. You write a plan. If the man that you're dating doesn't check the boxes that you're looking for, move on, my dear friend. Move on. Dating is not a problem. If a man is going cold on you, he doesn't want you in his life. If he's not calling you, he doesn't want you in his life. If he's saying that he's married, he's going to leave his wife for you, it's a lie. He's not going to leave his wife for you. So move on. But if you need a dating coach, you sign up for my coaching. There was another question somebody asked to you, Alexandria. I think they said, how long did it take you? I can't find it now. I think, oh yes, how long did it take for you to get to this point, Alexandria?
I started my business. It's been 11 years and it's been 6 years since I went full time. So I will say those first 5 years while I was doing my business and working full time, I wasn't doing it to the level I was doing it now. It was just kind of something I was doing. When 6 years ago is when I actually decided that, okay, this is going to be something that I'm going to do. And it took me time to just realize how to make money doing it. It took me, back then, we didn't have the Dr. Iyabos. We didn't have, you know, all of that to help at that point in time. So I was just doing all this on my own, trying to figure it out. And that took a long time, trying to figure out, you know, how do I even just simple things like line sheets that we need to sell to stores and boutiques. I had to figure all of that. A lot of this information wasn't readily on Google. It wasn't on YouTube. So a lot of these things I had to figure out on my own. So it took me a while to do it. But I believe that there's no reason it should take anybody 6 years now to get to the point that I'm at, because there are resources out there, several resources out there. Do not try to do it by yourself. Take advantage of coaching. Take advantage of free resources that are out there to help small businesses, that are out there to help women-owned businesses. They are all out there. Take advantage of those, and I think that, you know, you'll be fine. And Dr. Iyabo, I was going to say, when somebody said something about the dating or whatever, we need to, as women, change our speech of what we say. Things like, all men are this. Things like, dating is so hard. Things like, I can never get business, I can never do. Change your speech, because mentality is a lot of it. You really need to reverse what you're saying. I can get business. Things come to me freely. Opportunities come to me freely. As I wake up in the morning, God is blessing me freely. When you think that, I don't know what it is, but there's connection between people. When you are that way, people sense it. People feel it. It just happens. So don't come from a place of lack. Come from a place of everything is there, working in my own good. Even if you don't feel that way right now, the more you say it, the more you practice it, at some point you will get, you know, to feeling that way.
Yes, 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 yes. I love that. And all you have to say is, I can do everything through Christ who strengthens me. Do you know how many times a day I say that in my consciousness? When I wake up, I'm saying it. I'm taking a shower. I'm like, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I can. What Alexandria just said now is that Bible verse all in one. You can do it all because he strengthens you, because you're God's daughter. He wants you to have that lovely, beautiful, happy, abundant life. He wants you to be in Florida while you have a business that is running and is doing well, because he knows that your kids need your time. He wants the best life for you. However, he can't physically move you. But sometimes God does do that. He will physically shake you. He's done that to me many times, where I'm like, this must be God. I need to move. He will do things to like push you. Yeah. So you guys, we're going to end here. Alexandria is a busy person.
Yes.
However, I do want to talk to you about my coaching briefly. I know my coaching is not for everyone because it's $7,000, but it's the value that I offer. I'm not going to bring down my coaching prices. They're actually going to go up over the months because people who know the value will pay for my coaching. However, because I understand not everybody can afford it, I will have treats here and there during the year. And I have a treat coming up next month that I've been asking women to subscribe to my newsletter so that they can take advantage of that treat. Some of you on here have signed up for it already, but many of you haven't signed up. It is inexpensive for the next 10 days. It is going to go up on March 17th. I'm not sure what you're waiting for, but you should go ahead and subscribe to my newsletter. Click the link in my bio, subscribe to my newsletter, and make sure you get that in your inbox and sign up. Yes. Alexandria sells lovely bags. The gold doesn't tarnish. They're high quality bags. She sells clutches. She sells bags for work. She sells vacation bags like the yellow one. I was going to bring it down. It's upstairs in the bedroom. But you guys follow my stories because her bags are just beautiful. She sells masks. So you guys, if you don't have any of her products, you're missing out. You're missing out. Go and buy her products. Follow her. Ask her if she'll mentor you. Ask her if she'll coach you. She's a resource that you should not just don't let her go free after today. Stick with her like glue because she will show you what excellent branding means. She is an epitome of excellent branding. Her Instagram handle is Fwstyle. Falake, can you please type Alexandria's handle again for Vivian? Buy her products, follow her. From following her alone, you will understand what excellent branding means because she has gotten branding down to a T. She has. I love you all. This month is Entrepreneurship on Tea Time with Dr. Iyabo. Next weekend, I have another amazing woman that I have many of her dresses, Yewande of Lady Boutique. She will be here next Sunday. I will be back in Atlanta then by God's grace. Love you all. Thank you for joining. Bye-bye. Alexandria, you know I love you.
Yes, love you right back.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah, the replay will be on my YouTube. I'm not leaving this on my Instagram. It's going to my YouTube because I've monetized my YouTube and this needs to make money for me. So this video is going to my 6th income stream, which is my YouTube channel. So watch it on my YouTube channel. Subscribe, Dr. Iyabo Webzo. Thank you, Alexandria.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye. Bye.